Let's see. And day 11, 7 a.m. I'm doing laundry now. So over the weekend we switched our research paper topic from a self-tuning autonomous car to an autonomous garage where cars will just automatically drive themselves into parking spaces. And we thought it was a good idea because it was more applicable to like the real world. And our previous idea, which involved the problem with truck rollover, the instructor said our problem statement sounded too forced, so he also suggested we switched it out. However, today we switched it yet again, and I think this will hopefully be our final problem statement. We switched it to how can a car detect if one of its tires fell out or just like popped, and then safely stop itself. So that's what we're gonna do our research paper on. And yeah, I'd heavily recommend talking it through with your group and your instructor, definitely your TA, because else you'll end up switching a bunch of topics like we did. That's not very fun. We were preparing for a sort of hybrid race today where the first half of it would be wall following, and then the second half would be line following. And the way we would transition between the two modes is by reading an AR tag. So we already have all the code done, and we're just debugging, like debugging and retuning, trying to fix problems. For example, the car not reading the AR tag correctly. Day 12, sorry for not recording any clips of the day. We were far too busy trying to test our robot for the lab and also trying to gather data for a research project. And talking about the research project, we've started, well, our topic first of all is tire blowout and how that's dangerous. So we tried to mimic that by literally unscrewing the nut holding the front right wheel in place. So when we drove it, the wheel would just pop off. And we recorded the 6 IMU values, like the 3 linear acceleration and 3 gyroscopic velocities. And we're planning to figure out a way to use that data and detect when a car's tire gets blown out. So we can use that to solve this problem of blowouts causing deaths by correctly stopping the car without it drifting to like nearby lanes. So we're still trying to work this out. We're researching like the turning radius of highways because that's normally where tire blowouts occur, and we're trying to simulate that on a micro scale. And we're also trying to simulate it in a computer environment. The project's all over the place, but it has a structure at least. That's what I'm happy about. Oh my god. Okay, so today our robot malfunctioned and we sort of lost the race in the morning. Didn't go so well. The rest of the day we worked on the research project and we gathered data for testing our hypothesis. We got some IMU data that looked promising. There's like a large spike when the tire rolled off, so that could be useful in finding like while determining when the tire falls off. We're gonna do some more data analysis as homework today. Front right, round 4. Today was the first day in a while that we didn't have to work on a lab. So today was purely just research, and we gathered a bunch of more data for our research project. And the data seems to be good. There's a few discrepancies here and there, and it's a bit noisy, but we'll try to analyze it to see a pattern tonight. To see a pattern for if there's like an anomaly in any of the IMU values when the wheel falls off. Then that will be our algorithm for detecting a tire blowout. Today at the start of class, we're gonna have a mock engineering exam. And I heard that last year the average was like a 20 out of 100. And the highest score was an 80, but the second highest score was a 60. So I don't know how it's gonna go, but I guess I hope it goes well. Today's mock engineering exam went, I'd say okay. I feel like I could have definitely done better. I realized right after I finished taking that, actually I was in the process of correcting my last problem because I wrote down the wrong number and I had the wrong answer, but then the time went up, so it's fine. I hope I get a good score. Other than that, today was mostly a research-oriented day. We finished gathering all of our research data, and just now, like an hour ago, my group and I we spent time just like compiling all the data we got, like rendering them into graphs, charts, and then putting them into a sort of global Google Doc. And we're gonna spend this weekend writing out this research paper because we have to give a presentation on it on Thursday next week. It's currently Sunday at 12 a.m. and I'm recording. I think this week was just probably the most stressful the program's gonna ever be. And it's not over yet. We still have to write this research presentation. But next week is gonna be fully working on fixing our robot for the Grand Prix. And I think next week is gonna be really fun. All the international teams are coming over from like Greece, Turkey, from China, all of those countries around the world, and we're going to be able to meet them and talk to them for the first time. They're also going to have race cars, and they're also going to be preparing for the Grand Prix. So I'm also planning to write some pathfinding code for our robot this weekend. But then again, we have some research work to do. I don't really know how to close this, but see you on the other side. Good night.